everyone. I'm Abby Johnson, Executive Director of the Virginia PACE Authority, and I'm here with Mike Billingsley of Greenworks Lending. Hi, Mike.
Hey, Abby, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing fantastic. Great to speak with you.
Yeah, it's great to catch up. And I just wanted to ask you a few questions about what's going on. So the first thing I want to ask you is, what kind of projects are you working on? And have you seen any changes from the impacts of the pandemic?
Sure. Well, at Greenworks, our projects kind of span the spectrum of commercial real estate projects. So we're working on office, hotel, multifamily, retail, light industrial, pretty much everything under the sun that touches on commercial real estate. We also fund nonprofit buildings and private schools as well.
That's great. Is there any one particular asset you're seeing more or less of?
We're seeing a lot of hotels, as you can imagine, with COVID happening, and a lot of the hotel sector and the recreational sectors are, closed down. There's not a lot of patrons and visitors there. And one thing we've kind of noticed throughout the industry is that a lot of new construction projects are having their bank financing offer lower leverage than typical. Typically, we see 70 to 80%. Now we're looking at deals that have more 50 to 65, 50 to 60%. So we're coming in and helping a lot of developers fill the gaps in their capital stack created by the pullback by a lot of traditional bank lenders. And we're a great alternative to using equity or mezzanine financing, which is a lot more expensive.
Absolutely. I think that's a really great use of CPACE. And we were already seeing it before the pandemic. And now, of course, we can see how it's become very vital to some of these projects that you're working on, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And states also that have retroactive finance, we've come in and been a huge help in terms of liquidity and providing operational reserves, or even helping to pay down the senior loan to get them through this pandemic and get them through COVID. So both PACE on the new construction side, gut rehab, retrofit, and then of course retroactive for recently completed projects has been vital for the market.
Well, I was going to say it for later, but I would bring up that we are working on that in Virginia, and we're trying to get that on for 2021. So for retroactive, so hopefully you'll have that capability here as well.
That'll be really exciting. Certainly Maryland and DC have utilized that heavily. And we've been able to fund a lot of projects that are retroactive in both jurisdictions, but having that capability in Virginia will bring Virginia on par with the rest of the Mid-Atlantic. That's very exciting.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. Good to hear that, and I will pass that along to our to the state, the governor's office, actually, that when we're working on this. So the second question I have for you is about Virginia. Now, obviously, you're here, so you're local in a way, and you know the market. And I was just wondering, the fact that we have resiliency and stormwater on our statute, is that broaden the opportunities for marketing, or do you see anything like in Hampton Roads that you could use these kind of measures to fund, or I'm just curious more about your strategy, I suppose, in the Virginia.
Sure. Well, I think Hampton Roads is in need of this type of financing. Certainly with the rising sea levels that have occurred over the past, you can call it almost a century. Yeah. Since the 1930s, there's been a lot of rising sea levels, particularly in Norfolk. I think it's the hardest hit area on the entire East Coast. Certainly 25% of the city is in a 100-year floodplain. So for anyone doing a new construction project, having this financing that they can allocate dollars toward that kind of, resiliency and stormwater management, I think it's going to be crucial. I think it's going to help them out to know that they have money for those particular measures, and hopefully they can make sure that their project's prepared and go above and beyond and to manage that issue.
Wow, well, you've done your homework. 25%, that is huge. That's a huge amount of commercial real estate that's impacted, and we know that with the Navy base there, it's going to be a big problem if they don't do something about all the real estate around the Navy base.
Sure. Yeah, the naval station there in Norfolk, being the largest one in the country and one of the largest in the world, certainly has to contend with that. A lot of defense contractors are located there, so a lot of commercial real estate is based off that industry, and they'll have to contend with that certainly to keep the economy going in that area.
Well, it's exciting, and Norfolk has passed their ordinance, and we're in the process of formalizing our agreement with them. So I think you'll, by 2021, January, you should be able to fund deals there. So I look forward to seeing you there in that market.
Excellent, excellent.
So the next question I'd like to ask you, actually the final question is, I think we've talked before because we both worked in commercial real estate before, but why did you choose to move to CPACE now from working in other industries?
Sure. Well, I think climate change is such a immensely important challenge facing not only this country, but the world. And to be able to contribute in a positive way to lower carbon emissions and help the green economy get started, it's a really fantastic opportunity to work in an industry and in a company like Greenworks that is working hard to address that issue. So it's an exciting opportunity that I wanted to be a part of. I felt passionate about and made that pivot to be able to be here at Greenworks and work in the PACE industry. So very happy with it.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And I also think that it's very valuable to have someone like you who has a deep knowledge of commercial real estate and underwriting and finance to be involved in this market. So I think that helps. I'm assuming you can help make the case to developers as a result of that background.
Definitely. I find it very easy to relate to developers and property owners, understanding the financial sense of the transaction, understanding how to structure it in a way that is beneficial for them, and being able to translate the nuances of PACE and the green energy world to a person who's focused on finance and cash flow and improving the community or helping the economy. It kind of ties it all together, being able to have that background and being able to be that translator for the financial industry. So yeah, it's been very beneficial.
Yeah, that's great. We're excited to have you in our market and looking forward to lots of deals in 2021 in Virginia. Now that we're getting going, ramping up. I guess I just had one really quick thing. Do you have any questions for me at VPA or what we're doing in Virginia? Anything you're curious about or need updating on?
Oh, well, I really want to thank you. I thank you for everything you've done to really start the market in Virginia and to expand PACE. Your company has done a fantastic job in doing that. So I really appreciate the partnership we developed. And I look forward to doing many, many deals in Virginia in the near term.
Well, thank you, Mike. And I absolutely want to point out that you've been great in terms of helping us try to get these jurisdictions to, well, they have moved. They really have felt the pressures may be the wrong word, but they see the benefits from all different perspectives, not just ours. So I really appreciate your advocacy, which you've done without any hesitancy. So thank you very much.
Absolutely. Glad to contribute in any way I can.
Thanks.